All right, today we have the sentence, I'll move it over here, and it's from a story called If You Find a Rock. And I will get that loaded up at some point so you can hear the story. I thought I was recording it earlier, and maybe I wasn't. All right, but you have this one, put it in your mentor book, and today we're going to do our day of noticing. What do we notice about this sentence? Or you might find a big mossy rock by the side of a long, steep trail. Somebody tell me something that you notice about this sentence. Courtney, what do you notice? Okay, there is a comma in the part where it says, by the side of a long, steep trail. Why is there a comma there? What does that comma do? You can put in that there's a comma. What's it doing?
It's kind of a list, but only a few things.
Yeah, it's like a very, very, very short list, isn't it? Okay, so it's just separating the items in a list. The author could have written, or you might find a big mossy rock by the side of a long and steep trail, and use the word and in there. But they decided, I don't like separating those words with and. I want it to be a long, steep trail. Okay? Without and in there. They liked how it sounded better. Remember the other day we talked about how authors really think about their words? That was probably a big thought. I don't want and disrupting the fact that it's a long, steep trail. I want those together. Okay? Alright? Who notices something else in the sentence? That's one thing we could notice. Brody.
It's a declarative sentence.
Whoa. Okay, folks, put in your desk. Because then you have a desk you can put all kinds of things on. You don't have to balance them on your lap. Or you might find a desk that you can put your book on. Now you found a school desk.
Wow!
You could do a whole book about desks.
No, that's boring. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So, I'm sorry, Brody, what did you say again?
Declarative.
Thank you very much. It is a declarative sentence. If you know that a declarative sentence has what end mark?
A period.
You don't have to write it. If you know that a declarative sentence just does this, it's a statement, you don't have to write it. If you forgot, oh yeah, that's a statement, then write it down. If you forgot it has an end mark that's a period, then write it down. Yes?
This probably might not be one of the things you write down, but it's like a very descriptive sentence. Like,
Okay.
you might find a big mossy rock on the side of a long step trail.
Okay, yeah, let's put down descriptive. Because it has a bunch of descriptive words, doesn't it? In fact, this whole book is pretty descriptive. Okay? So,
Can we put that after declarative?
yeah. No, make it all a separate thing. It's easier to notice what you noticed. And then we can put down some of those words. Mossy, big, steep, long. A lot of describing words in there, which actually will help you for tomorrow, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't specifically say what parts of speech those are. They're all describing something, and if you know what kind of part of speech describes things, you got 4 words right there. Or you may find a sentence that has a period at the end.
Wow.
You found a declarative sentence.
Mr. Springer!
You can write a book like this for all kinds of things.
I'd rather do it about my teacher.
Or you may have a
I
teacher.
should
He has a Superman curl because he's really Superman. Then you have a superhero teacher. Alright, who notices something else? There's something in this one that I noticed because it kind of bothers me. It's kind of like our memory. Our memory and this have something very, very much in common. And it bugs me because I tell people, don't do this. It's not illegal to do it in writing. I just don't like it, and it's not usually done, but sometimes people do it. What do you think?
It starts with or.
It starts with the word or. What kind of word is or?
Kind of like,
Well, and, but, and or. What kind of words are those? Call a friend up.
Conjunctions.
Yeah, they're conjunctions. So put this down. Starts with a conjunction. And then just put down or because that's the conjunction that it starts with. Our memory does that also, doesn't it? But if anyone does sin, it starts with a conjunction but. I'm personally not the biggest fan of doing that. You can do it.
It's illegal.
It's more for books like this, where it's kind of, it depends on the kind of writing you're doing. Okay? The kind of writing you guys generally do for school, like answering questions, don't do that. Alright? Yes?
I have an idea for if you were doing a story like that on teachers, or you might get a crazy and annoying teacher that wants you to make every single answer into a sentence.
Then you have a great teacher.
No.
That's okay. I don't mind being called annoying and crazy, as long as you actually write sentences. Alright.
No.
Okay, now, this is kind of a... Okay, you got everything that's on here except for the one that's going to be kind of weird. And then I'm going to put it in two parts. Do you notice that the author talks to... Who's the author talking to? When the narrator is... the narrator is basically the author. Who are they talking to?
Like us, kind of.
Yeah, they're talking to you, aren't they? So let's put down author talks to you. Because it actually says things like, you might find a rock. Doesn't it? Other stories, think about the Twits. That's a narrator who's just kind of telling the story. Are they specifically talking to you? No, they're just telling the story to whoever might want to be listening. Okay? And this is a special thing. Yes?
Can we put me instead?
No, put you. This is a special thing because stories are told from different points of view. There's first person point of view. That would be, I'm telling a story about something that happened to me, and I'm going to be the main person. But here's the thing about first person point of view, is that I can only tell you what I know. Alright? So if I'm telling you a story about my day today, can I tell you about what happened on the recess, or on the playground at recess?
No.
No, I wasn't out there. Could I tell you about how I was trying to fix a computer problem in the office?
Yeah.
Yes, because I actually did that. That's called first person point of view. Most books are kind of written in third person point of view. And that's somebody who's not really even in the story telling you about the story. Think about the cricket in Times Square. Who's telling that story? Who's actually telling that story?
No, like the narrator.
Yeah.
They don't mention him in the book.
Yeah, it's kind of just this narrator who's kind of just hovering above everything and can see everything going on, right? And is telling you everything going on. That's third person. This is one that's not used very often. Put down behind this,
It's
second person, and you may need to go down to another line, point of view. So that one's called second person point of view, when they're actually just talking to you. It's kind of like a conversation. You may find a rock that does this. It's this you have found this kind of rock. It's kind of the more unusual point of views that stories are told in. It's hard to find a second person point of view voice. Yes?
I feel like there should be a fourth person point of view where you get to hear everybody's perspective.
Say again.
I feel like there should be a fourth person point of view where you get to hear everybody's perspective.
Okay, so kind of like when we watched the movie Hoodwinked?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, technically that would still just be first person when they're telling the story. It's just different people are doing the first person thing. Okay? All right. Okay, that's all we're going to notice for today. So if you go to Miss Agard, you can wrap that up and head down there. And I am going to start a different video, because this is technically the mentor video.